What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Daily Energy Newsbeat Stand-Up here on this chilly Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. As always, I'm your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, coming to you from an undisclosed location here in Dallas, Texas. Candidly, it is actually the 30th at about 6:30 the night before when we record this. Apparently tomorrow, as you guys listen to this, it's supposed to be an ice storm, so stay safe. Please, we don't want anybody getting into an accident, but also it's not that bad outside, and people really here in Dallas really are just actually wimps. I thought they were kidding, and be like, oh yeah, the city freaks out when it gets like below 30 degrees and you see like a little bit of rain. No, it's actually true. Like these people were like rushing out of the office like they had just seen a ghost. So it's not that bad, people. Sack up a little bit. But if it does ice, and by the time you listen to this, if this is ice, forget everything I said. Stay safe. As always, we have joining us the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, and the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, EnergyNewsBeat.com, Stuart Turley. My man, how is it in Bear Country?
Cold. I could use me a bear to curl up with, but we got.
I can imagine. It's a great.
Yeah, I mean, we got some sleet, everything else, and the way the road is here, I cannot get out. So, needless
Well,
to say,
needless to say, you're pumped and locked in, and we have a great show for everybody. So if you're snowed in and trying to not do work, trust me, we have a great show for you lined up. Iran publicly complained about China's paltry investments over the past year. We've got ICE to open up London gas hub, creating route around EU Prussian or EU price cap. Of course, this is already in the works. Residual value of nuclear fuel to be an economic disruptor of shipping. This is very interesting. Stu has a lot of thoughts on that. Iranian explosions, implications and impact on oil. I'll give you the synopsis. Nada. We will go over and cover those nada natural gas or oil and gas prices, which are currently trading at $77.94. So oil takes a nice hit as hikes loom. EIA is set to report storage numbers for both crude oil on Wednesday and natural gas on Thursday. Nat gas currently trading at $2.67. Just not good for that. I will cover what that means and a little funny story from Comstock. I think we have an IR guy of the week candidate, so we'll cover all that and a bag of chips, guys. But first, check us out. World's greatest website, EnergyNewsBeat.com. Check out the description below. All of the links are there. You can check out our website. It's really the home and the news, the pulse, to say the least, of what's going on in the industry. Sign up for our newsletter. It goes out every Tuesday. Dashboard.energynewsbeat.com is our web application that we're building out. V1 is currently live. V2 currently under the works. We're happy to say we've hired a new developer and our team is expanding. And it'll be great. He's a great guy. So if you see him on LinkedIn, connect with him. Otherwise, we'll be looking to roll out V2. I saw Stu. He added software engineer at Energy Newsbeat onto his LinkedIn. I thought that was kind of cool. So now Energy Newsbeat has a certified LinkedIn software engineer. So big step for us. Enough of the pleasantries, though, Stu. I'm tired of hearing my own voice. Talk to me. What do you have?
Well, we're going to have some fun here, dude. I'll tell you what, let's start with our nuclear story. I love me some nuclear. And when we sit back and talk, Michael, the title of this story is Residual Value of Nuclear Fuel to be an Economic Disruptor of Shipping. This title, I think, was written by your IR guy of the week. And as we know, our podcast listeners, IR guy of the week is not necessarily the sharpest stick in the shed. So
the most brilliant people, they're the most brilliant. It's for the most brilliant and well-timed news reports.
Okay.
AKA the API.
Right. Okay. That being said, here we go. We're coming into this, and this is pretty interesting. I'm just going to read you this one thing here. Nuclear's been beaten up since the 1980s with fear and mistrust fostered by those who would profit from its demise. Okay. That was all I can handle there. The whole article stems from this, Michael. We've had submarines, we've had aircraft carriers, we've had everything running safely in the Navy and running great. I love me some nuclear powered fleets. I mean, it's a couple of years and a submarine can stay down, life's good. This article really is misnamed, and it's really going after liquid fuel so that you don't have to turn a reactor off, and you could actually have cargo ships, you could have tankers, you could have all of these ships zero carbon buzzing around the oil, or buzzing around the world at zero carbon. Let me read you one of the lines in here. I thought it was fabulous. Instead of stopping the reactors refueling at intervals to remove the spent fuel and fresh fuel, new liquid reactors can be topped off at full power. They don't stop, they don't produce any emissions, and the little residual waste equivalent to the amount of being topped off would be extracted from the core and secured securely in the reactor island, causing no environment to the and damage to the environment. At 2.5% inflation, after a 30-year ship life, floating platform, or other synthetic bunker fuels, the energy in the reactant could double in value. So I'm talking it makes a lot of sense, Michael. And it scares me though, because you got pirates hanging off of Somali, and it's not like a military ship where we got some badass Navy, Marines, and everybody else protecting it. So I'm over here going, I love me some nuclear, but you could see some Somalis coming over, some pirates in a skiff. It took out the USS Cole, but with a couple of guys going Ayatollah, and they came whipping in there and blew up the USS Cole. So what is wrong with this picture? I love it. I think it's a fabulous article, but the title's misleading. And then all we're going to get is some guy in a Zodiac coming up going, long live the Zodiac. Anyway, what are your thoughts?
I've only got one thing to say on this article. I'm the captain now.
Oh, you're the captain.
I'm the captain now. You're absolutely right. One of these is going to get taken over, and now all of a sudden you have a floating bomb. Like, and also you read the article. I don't want to dive into it more, but they also talk about the economics of this thing. These things will never. I mean, they're like the one time at one point they're 500 million. In the next line they're 2 billion. You're never going to be able to build these cost effectively. This is a pipe dream.
No, but I got tickled at it. So, and I love the comment, love nuclear, but you got a bunch of guns on Navy ships protecting it. So that's just my 2 cents. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to Iran. I love me some Iran stories. And speaking of that, they probably have a Zodiac or 2 ready for them tankers, nuclear powered tankers. Iranian explosions, implications, and impact on oil. Michael, do you remember a couple of years ago, there was a terrorist attack in Riyadh, and in some of the oil fields, oil went up $15 in the next day. I mean, it was like, they didn't even have the things put out. Poof, here it goes. Here the price goes up. You kind of gave away the story here. It's a nothing burger. This goes on over here, and it says, while no party has claimed direct responsibility for the explosions, senior Ukrainian, I can't even pronounce his name, I'm not going to try. It bids the offers and applies explosive night, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Will prices spike as markets price increase? No. Will the Ukraine war spill over to the Middle East? Yes. I think eventually it will, Michael. We are absolutely doing stupid things with this war. I think it will. You'll see it spill over before it So
I think
anyway,
the issue is this. The issue is this.
what's that?
Clearly, in old times, if we were doing this show back in the heyday, Stu, when we were doing this 2 years ago, this happened, boom, prices spike.
Absolutely.
Now we've got prices down 2% today. So the fundamentals have completely shifted. You know, I don't want to say I'm an Iran expert. I leave you to expound upon world affairs. But it'll be very interesting. You know, what scares me is the targeting military production. That scares me a little bit.
Well, you know, Iran was providing all the drones to Russia, and that was a little bit of a crazy thing. So Iran's not a bunch of nice guys over there. But let's go ahead and go finish the second story here, Michael. The second story on this is, and again, it's the Iran leadership. There are great Iran folks. I'm not ever talking about, you know, people. These Iran, this next one, Iran publicly complains about China's paltry investments over the past year. Michael, you can't buy this kind of entertainment. Nope. I'm sorry, I got really tickled at that. Let's go through some of the highlights here. Here they are. Iranian Deputy Finance Minister Al Fareki, is that how you think you'd pronounce it? Publicly complained on Sunday about China's paltry investments over the past year. China has invested nearly 185 million in Iran over the 15 months, which we're not happy with given the amount of negotiations and meeting we had.
They got screwed by the Chinese.
They did. Oh, it was so fun. What they're seeing, though, is they're seeing all the Ukrainians making bazillions of dollars. They're getting tanks a lot, you know, and so they're getting all this stuff, and they're like, hey, we need the Ukrainian negotiators over here. They're going to import them in and rent them so they can start using the Ukrainian negotiators to start getting money from China and other countries. So I thought that was kind of funny. So anyway.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. I love how they're touting how the Russians have invested so much. That's probably not swift when you're talking about how much the Russians have invested in your country. That's probably not a good thing.
No, and China is not stupid. They are very, very smart. We're going to come around. Speaking of Russia on investments, this one, the story is ICE to open London gas hub, creating route around the EU price cap. Michael, there's a couple things going on in this world. Okay. Carbon credits are a scam. Carbon credits allow you to buy credits and then you can go pollute. That's like going to your wife and saying, I'm going to buy me some credits so I can go get drunk with the boys tonight. Right?
Yes. Exactly like that.
I mean, it is. It's the same thing. I need a kitchen pass, baby. Here's my credit card. So ICE is the Intercontinental Exchange, ICE, plans to launch a parallel market in London for title transfer facility of gas trading next month. It gets a little thick here. ICE trading at the TTF gas hub in Amsterdam warned it could move the market outside the EU because the bloc's looming price cap on gas. So not only are the black widows eating their husbands, they're just eating their own on this because the traders are moving out of the EU, and you're going to see a greater systemic problem of people bailing out of the EU. This story is actually huge for them to try to get out of bypassing it again. That also goes with our Iran story. Iran had been getting around sanctions for years, and old Putin goes, hey, I'm going to learn me from some, Iranians how to get it. They got around all the sanctions and everything else. Now Europe is helping them get away from the sanctions.
Yeah, it's
I'm
You you
sorry.
you said it. You put it perfectly. This is literally getting around sanctions. I mean, I could sit here and rip this apart, and we could have a lot of fun talking about how they did this to themselves and how this is the free market doing what it does, finding the lowest cost solution, finding a way around regulations. But it's all clearly there. I just think we say, we told you so.
Right. And if anybody deserves a free hunting pass with Dick Cheney Incorporated, it's one of these new brochure. I got a brochure on it somewhere here, and it's a new thing for international people to come to the U.S. and go on a personally hunted guide. Dick Cheney is your hunting guide, and you're gonna go shoot yourself in the foot, and he's gonna, like, if you miss, he's gonna shoot you. I mean, that's how bad this is. Are you
Yeah,
there?
it's not funny. It's
No,
not.
going
It's
on
not funny.
a hunt with Dick Cheney is better than this. Oh,
Ooh,
okay. Off to
I'm
you.
good.
I've had way too much fun on today's show.
Yeah, trust me, we will not be in my segment hunting with Dick Cheney, but we are going to be talking. We are going to be talking about natural gas price. I don't know what's worse, this natural gas price or
We're
hunting
hunting with Dick Cheney.
And we're currently trading $2.68. Cash prices do climb a little bit today. As expected on Thursday, we're going to see somewhere between a 76 to 160 BCF drawdown. Last year we had 262, so still way below. It is cold right now, so you would have thought prices would have maybe popped a little bit, but they stayed fairly steady again, 60 or $2.68. These powerful cold shots that are impacting the lower 48 might, pump up that short-term demand. But again, in that long term, we're still, hoping Freeport provides some relief. But natural gas has gotten pounded, and I don't think the fundamentals support it going anywhere other than continuing to stay around this level. So God bless natural gas price producers. They're going to need it here very quickly, Stu. Oil didn't have that much fun anyway. I think there's two things impacting oil, which is currently trading down about 2 percentage points, 77.97 as we record this, about 6:45 on January 30th. First is the impending rate hikes coming this Wednesday. The street is expecting a 25 basis points bump. Anything higher than that, it's not going to be good. Anything lower than that, we might see a pop ever so slightly. But if we come in as expected, I don't think we'll see anything tumble too terribly
What's
much.
your gut, Michael? I hate to
what?
cut you. What's your gut?
They're going to do 25 basis points, but I think then they're going to signal that they're going to keep cutting or that they're going to keep raising. Excuse me. So I think you're going to see a flounder in markets when it comes in as expected, because the speech which Powell will give after, which is sometimes even more important than the actual number itself, he'll signal that they're going to continue to cut and go beyond the guidance of, I think it was 5.25 basis points, which is what the original guidance was. They'll probably raise that to 5.5, 5.75 would be that's my prediction, is that it's 25 basis points. The speech is going to indicate we're going to blow through our guidance, and that's probably going to send prices tumbling. As also Russian demand and outflows have come in strong, according to our favorite people over at Reuters. They had a quote in here. What was it? They were talking about Russia and outflows, but I mean, we covered that last week on Friday. So it's kind of funny. They got to reuse the same material when it's really just, I think, a floundering in what's expected to come up. So everybody stay strong out there. I think final thing in finance, I thought this is hilarious, Stu. IR guy of the week here. S&P small cap 600 constituent Agree Realty Company will replace Store Capital Corporation in the SP Mid Cap 400. Okay, so what does that mean? Oh, that's nothing. Those are just realty companies. The next part of this press release is hilarious. And Comstock Resources, ooh, we know them. Comstock Resources will replace Agree Realty in the S&P Small Cap 600 effective prior to opening of trading Monday, February 6th. Wow. They, in the nick of time, did they slip in, baby? Because trust me, Comstock, who's that? Jerry Jones?
Right.
What does Comstock produce all the time? Produce mostly? Natural gas. Ooh.
So the Dallas Cowboys lost. Do you think Jerry Jones is going to have another one go under?
No, I don't think Comstock's going under, but their valuation is significantly cut. I think it's hilarious that
Oh,
they're in the small cap 600 when arguably their market cap has never been lower in the past 6 months or 12 months. I mean, arguably their market cap has never been lower as it is today than it has been like in the past 12 months. So it's kind of funny that they're now getting added to the small cap 400 when in 3 months they're just going to get removed because they're below the threshold. So it's just the timing is more ironic. The timing is up for IR Guy of the Week. We will let you know at the end of Friday who wins. Stu, what are we missing today before we let these fine people go?
boy, you were kind of laughing about that, Michael. You know what the difference between trucks in Texas and trucks in Colorado on the ice and snow?
Ours have 4-wheel drive.
And y'all know how to drive on ice and snow. Texans.
Yes, because as I mentioned, it's 4-wheel drive, not 4-wheel stop.
No,
Not 4-wheel stop. That doesn't exist.
no. But
So
tell
that's
that
these
to a
idiots.
Texican.
People are idiots here, but that's for another story. That's for another podcast. With that, guys, we're gonna let you get out of here, get back to work. Thanks for checking us out. World's greatest website, energynewsbeat.com. For Stuart Turley, I'm Michael Tanner. Stay safe out there, folks.